Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I will keep to the time because already it is delayed. So I will finish it shortly. I am Dr. R.N. Behra. I am Technical Director of NIC Bhubaneswar. I am looking after cyber security, web services, and other e-governance services. So my topic is here, risk management of Indian e-government projects. Here we have taken, actually last 3 days, I am hearing that every time, every talk, there is a concept, there is a talk on challenges, risks, threats, security, cyber security. So we have taken here in a case study of that is Odisha JEE entrance examination in e-counseling. How you have faced the problem, the priorities of risk factors, mitigation of risk factors to reduce the bad impact, and identify the risk factors for e-governance projects, e-counseling projects of Odisha. All these factors are taken into consideration. What are the risk factors affecting e-governance projects that we have taken into consideration? That is the basic objective. So the e-counseling project in Odisha, it is basically directly public related and highly sensitive because it is directly going to the public and needs zero error tolerance. You cannot skip. If there is a little mistake, error in the system, means so many people will be affected in admission process. So it is hampering the career. So you should be zero error tolerance. So I am talking about the risk management. In ISO 3100, risk is defined as the effect of uncertain objective either having positive or negative impact. So risk management is identifying the probabilities of risk factors and addressing those in time for reducing their impact on the project. So risk occurrence, this is classified as very low, low, moderate, high, and very high. So 0 to 10% it is very low, then 10 to 25% low, then 25 to 50% it is moderate, and 50 to 75% high, and last is 75 to 100% very high. Similarly, risk impact, very less, less, moderate, more, and most. These are the factors 0 to 10%, 10 to 25%, 25 to 50%, 50 to 75%, and 75 to 100%. So here, e-governance, there are various risks associated. There is technical, economical, managerial, political, and behavioral. So technical means if there is a poor design of your software, data security problem, security is the major concern. Then non-accelerative or non-availability of data, that is another concern. Then improper skill set and software development. Means software engineering process, if you develop in improper way, that will definitely affect. Inaccurate matrices, continuous stream of requirements changes, poor user participation. Poor user participation. Then managerial risks are there, poor management skill of projects, managers, project leaders, and administrators, improper project management tools in use, wrong time scheduling for the project execution. Then comes your economical, that is also one of the vital cost-benefit analysis of the project is not properly done, then mismanagement of the project fund, also another factor. Then political, most of the time for implementing any project you need a political or bureaucratic will. If there is no political or bureaucratic will, if you go ahead with the project, then the project will definitely not sustain long. Then behavioral. The behavioral means the attitude of the persons, the stakeholders on planning and developing agencies. Once you are executing any project, e-governance project means you should take care of the attitude of person. How is there conservative nature or whatever things, all these factors have to be taken into consideration. After all, the behavior of the citizen should be positive. Unless the positive attitude, you cannot implement any e-governance project. These are the findings taken for this e-counseling project. The probability range also from 0 to 10, all this statistics is given. So what are the implications for the target population? The target population of e-governance projects are directly or indirectly the citizens. If it is a G to C, then the target group is directly the public. If it is G to G, then the indirectly the public is also target. this is the risk prioritization which have been analyzed. Then the risk mitigation. That solving one risk may cause another risk. Similarly happened in e-counseling project. The private engineering colleges, they wanted some issues. If you address these issues, then it may lead to another software error. So you have to make some technological issues, like you have to modify the software. If you modify software, there is challenges of software bugs and software errors. Because the students, on the other hand, they are the users. Once they use means if there is a software bug, they may get wrong selection in taking admission. So this is the major crisis in this situation. So suggestive measures, we suggest NEGP to be focused to strengthen e-governance applications, mission mode projects to be specially focused. Then the most important and vital is e-governance standardization to be followed. Everywhere, every time they are talking about standards. So risk factors cannot be totally eliminated from a project, but if these factors are identified and assessed in time, in impact of the project can be controlled. One standard e-governance project like e-counseling with average complexity, normal volume of work and highly sensitive project would require around 4 years. What you have analyzed in this e-counseling. First year, the core requirement is focused for error-free output. In second year, all the allied activities could be emphasized. In third year, all refinement and optimization would be carried out. From fourth year onwards, the application will be stable and can continue to full-fledged for a longer period. So we conclude here that you have analyzed how risk factors are associated with the e-governance applications and how to identify, access their occurrence and impact, and how to convert or control those factors to succeeding the project. Standardization is the key factor for overcoming all types of risks. This is a major factor, standardization. Indian government web guidelines, another dimension, recently with NIC and government, DRPG, with the help of DIT, they have done Indian government web guidelines. Standardization district portal is my work, we have done. We have want to standardize all the district portals of the country. Then e-gov standards are now new dimension in this area. Any project, any e-governance project, you should follow the e-gov standards. And lastly, the cyber security guidelines, which is the major agenda here. Because unless you have security in this e-governance application, you cannot sustain and you cannot survive. Thank you very much.